Welcome to Uncopyable Women in Sales. If you're looking for actionable insights and real-world tools to turbocharge your sales starting tomorrow, well, you're in the right place. Your host, Kay Miller, earned the affectionate nickname Muffler Mama when she sold more automotive mufflers than anyone else in the world. In this podcast, Kay will talk to another superstar woman in sales as they reveal uncopyable strategies you can use to rack up more leads, snag dream clients, and take your sales numbers through the roof. Stay tuned and get ready to make more sales and how about this? More money.
Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Susie Horan. Susie has been a top real estate entrepreneur for over 30 years. As the general manager and marketing director of an award-winning real estate company, she led her office to a record-breaking year, becoming the #1 office in the entire Puget Sound area. Today, she spends most of her time as a speaker, trainer, and consultant. Susie, welcome to the podcast.
Wow, Kay, that sounds so exciting. Even I want to hear from me now.
I love it.
What you have to remember is it didn't start there, right? That's where I evolved to. So the real question is, how did I get there, right?
And we're going to find that out. But I just want to first give you a little plug because I've known you for about 10 years and I've seen not only your success, but I've seen how you motivate your team, how you motivate and inspire others, lift them up. And I'm telling you, honestly, everyone who knows you loves you and adores you. Really, your team totally talks you up all the time. Those of you listening, you're in for a treat because this is a very special lady we're talking to. So how did you get started in this world of real estate?
Well, first of all, Kay, thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is so exciting because you're a legend in your own right. So I'm excited to be on your podcast. Anyway.
Thank you.
Yes. So when I went to college, I majored in art and interior design. Of course, no one majors in real estate because at 18, you don't even know what a real estate career is. So then along the way, I got married, had 2 small children, and we bought a house. And the owner of that company said, you should sell real estate. And I said, really? Well, okay, I'm going to try it. In my first month, they sold 2 homes and listed 1. And I was like, this is it. I was so excited. And so along the way, yes, I did sell and I was good. And then I thought, this office needs a little help and organization. And we were not a large company at that time. So I said, I think I should be in management. I literally volunteered. And what I have brought to the playing field is a positive attitude. I'm really fortunate. I was born positive. I love positive people. And I thought it was just that everybody was. And I found out, well, no, not quite. So I started evolving and building a team and growing a company based on positive energy. And I learned and took classes and I figured out scripts. And in addition to becoming good at sales, which everyone needs to be if they're going to be successful, they also want to be good at attracting the right energy and bringing it to every transaction they do and every meeting they have. And of course, me being in real estate, I was bringing it to the company and I was bringing it to the sales meetings. And I had a goal of our office being the #1 office in our little community. And I worked hard and we built it and we grew it and we hired agents and we brought in positive people. And one day our multiple listing service started keeping track of the numbers of transactions. And like you shared earlier, I found out we were the #1 office in the entire multiple listing service, which was like exceeded all of my expectations and made me so excited. And I started to transfer that energy to making sure I could teach it over and over again so everyone would be in touch with that positive energy and know how to use it.
And you know what? You are somebody who totally walks the talk. And we're going to talk more about positivity and manifestation. But knowing what I know about you, which is quite a bit, you have a very strong work ethic. You have drive, ambition. You serve your clients. I'm telling you, nobody returns a call faster than Susie. One of your philosophies, one of the parts of the framework that you teach is to live your life above the line. So why don't you explain what you mean by that?
Absolutely, because it's such a simple concept. But, as a process of being the leader of our company and managing our largest branch, I also was the marketing director, and I was also a trainer, and I was also a speaker, and I also brought in builders and new construction, and I never stopped listing and selling. So what I would do is I learned early on that you have to live your life above the line. So when I got to teach my agents and run sales meetings every Friday morning, I learned and they learned, and I was always a few steps ahead of them. So what I would do is I would have these prompts and I would have these simple tools that they could use and remember when they left that meeting. And one of them is live your life above the line, because above the line is the positive energy zone. So we're all walking magnets. We are vibrating at an energy. We want to be vibrating in joy and positivity and gratitude and happiness so that we bring joy and positivity and happiness to us. And that's how we will meet the right people, make the sale, and make more money. So every agent that walks in positivity attracts positivity. But since that's above the line, what happens if you fall below the line? So sometimes you're going to slip. I kind of look at the line like floating on an air mattress on the water. And as long as you're on the air mattress, you're above the line. And sometimes you're really above and you're kind of bouncing. Well, once in a while you slip off that air mattress and then you're Googling underwater and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get back on that air mattress? Because when you're underwater, you're in the zone of negativity. You're in anger. You're in stress. You're in anxiety. You're in fear. What's going to happen? What if this doesn't close? What if they don't buy the house? But then if you stop and remember, what's my tool to get back above that line? The sooner I realize I can do this, I can get myself back on that air mattress. And all you have to do is remember a positive moment in your life. I call it your personal PowerPoint. So maybe it's like, in my case, maybe I'm thinking, okay, I love being in Hawaii with my family. I love sitting at the pool. My granddaughter's swimming. We're in the sunshine. Oh, suddenly I am transported back to Hawaii. Now I'm above the line. See, I just shifted my energy. It just went right back. I'm done with anger. I'm done with fear. I've got to stay in that positive energy zone if I'm going to complete this transaction and have a win-win outcome. So in my office, in my company, all I had to do was point to my little graph and say, let's get above the line. Let's feel above the line. Every sales meeting was above the line energy. People wanted to come to that meeting because they wanted to be above the line. And they quickly learned, okay, I'll go to my personal PowerPoint. Sometimes I'm so happy at an event or an environment, I will get out my phone and I'll take a picture of that moment. And I go, this is my personal PowerPoint. So I make my screensaver on my phone, my personal PowerPoint. All I have to do is look at it. And if you look at your personal PowerPoint 5 times a day for 17 seconds, you'll stay in the positive energy zone. So now, once again, let's go back to being those walking magnets that we are. We're all giving off energy. Mother Earth gives off energy. The people around us give off energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our words are energy. Our actions are energy. Every single thing we do is energy, and we have to be responsible for our own energy, because guess who it affects? Us. Our energy affects us more than anyone else. So we have to be very vigilant about what we say. We have to be very vigilant about what we do, because everything we do is going to come back to us. And that's living your life above the line. So when we take that positive energy, and in my case, imagine that multiplying through every agent in my office. They're more successful. The office is more successful. The company is more successful. This builds a positive culture, which is what we want in every office. We want people wanting to come to that. And that's what happened is our office became a magnet for other top producers. And they came to the company because they wanted to feel that energy. They wanted to walk in that door. I know that we had, let's say, a title rep. And she would every day end her calls at our office because she wanted to feel the energy. She would go, oh my gosh, it just feels so good to come in here. And when people are in positive energy, you know what happens? They laugh. They have fun. They're sharing their joy. They're helping each other. And when you can get your team laughing together, working together, sharing all that positive energy, you can make anything happen. Even, surprise, surprise, being the number one office in the multiple when all you wanted to be was the number one office in your city. That's manifesting.
Well, and I have to say, I have seen your office, and I've talked to the agents that say, I want to be in this office making my calls, because that positive energy rubs off on not only your team, but then of course it rubs off on your clients, your customers and prospects, and makes everybody more successful because they feel better about this. When you're enthusiastic and positive, that rubs off on your clients and customers as well.
Absolutely. And those are the kind of customers you want to work with. You want to work with positive customers, right? They're nicer. The transactions go together easily. So it's a win-win all the way around.
And it's fascinating to me because I've watched this, and Susie, you are real. You are so authentic, and you're just what you say you are. You're an inspiration. You're generous and you're a giver, but you also are very goal driven and work hard, as I mentioned. So let's talk about the winning game plan that someone needs to succeed.
Exactly. So as you shared, I've been in this business over 30 years. And I used to talk about manifesting 30 years ago. Before that word was mainstream, before anyone else even talked about it, I taught my agents how to manifest, because we're doing it anyway. But here's the trick. Become a deliberate manifester, not an accidental manifester. So to make it easy, once again, first I started with what I called my 7 steps to manifestation. Then I thought, I'm going to just put this in a little broader context. And I changed it to my winning game plan so that people would easily remember it. And I teach this to this day outside of the company because this works for any organization. So here's what it is. Game plan, G-A-M-E, game, goals, affirmations, manifestation, and energy. So when you put that together and then work your plan, you will attract anything you want in your life. So let's talk about goals. So first of all, goals are just, what do you want? What do you want? Write it down. Just make a list of what you want. It's easy. Don't feel pressured. Do it in categories. What do you want for your family, for your work, for your career, for your finances, for your fun, for your joy? So now you have a list of what you want. Then you take those goals and you turn them into affirmation format. And the reason you have to put them into an affirmation format is because your subconscious mind doesn't know the past and it doesn't know the future. You can't say, I want to earn $200,000 a year. That's future. So then you would change it to an affirmation that says, I'm in the process of earning $200,000 or more per year. I'm in the process of selling 4 or more homes a month. It's your goal. I really don't care because I want you to be the one to be happy and make it work for you. So we have the goals. What do you want? Make your list. Affirmations. Put it in present tense. And a lot of ways to do it are I'm happy, joyous, and free. I'm prosperous. I'm abundant. I am knowledgeable. I love training. I love to work with people. I attract buyers who are positive. I always find the right home for every buyer. People send me referrals. See how those are affirmations and they're present tense? And it works for every part of your life. It doesn't have to be just work. It doesn't have to be real estate. So now we have our affirmations. So those affirmations, then we need to send them out into the universe. So we're going to manifest them. What we're going to do is we're going to visualize the end result of, say, let's go back to that. I always earn $200,000 or more per year. How's it going to feel at the end of the year when you get an award and you are jumping for joy and people are congratulating you? Just go there, visualize that, feel it, see it, boom, let it go. Send it out to the universe. You're just sending that thought out where the universe can take care of the details. And then we go back to energy, G-A-M-E, goals, affirmations, manifestation, energy. Well, there we are. Positive energy. Live your life above the mind. Stay in the positive energy zone. If you want to attract positive things, then you have to be in the positive energy zone. And now that we know that, if we slide off the air mattress and we're underwater gurgling, that's okay. Just get back on the air mattress by remembering your personal PowerPoint of a happy moment. Don't languish underwater. Okay, here's the next thing. As far as staying in the positive energy zone, remember, everything you say, everything you think, everything you do is an affirmation that you're going to be manifesting. The universe doesn't know if you're talking about yourself or someone else. So don't talk negatively about anyone. Tell yourself how fabulous you are so that you can be attracting what you want and not what you don't want. So we have goals, affirmations, manifestation, positive energy, but then we also have plan. So now to achieve those goals, you have to put together a plan. In real estate, that might be hold open house, stop and visit your past clients, ask for referrals. So you have to go out into the real world and you have to put action into it. You have to do something that's going to create the results that you can bump into while you're out there, because you won't get them sitting at home. So when you put your plan together and you work your plan, guess what happens? You're at an open house because that's part of your action plan. But then someone calls you with a referral of a great buyer who wants to buy a home, and they're referring you. So the energy is taking over and it will make it happen, but you've got to be out there where you can run into it.
Today's podcast is sponsored by the acclaimed book, Uncopyable Sales Secrets, How to Create an Unfair Advantage and Outsell Your Competition by Kay Miller. If you want to make more sales, you need to read this book. We'll even get you started with a free download of the first 2 chapters. Go to uncopyablesales.com/chapters to grab this offer right now.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And everything you're saying backs up the fact that you are truly one of the most positive people I know. I love the point of also not thinking negatively about others, because of course we're all connected on some level in this universe. So bringing someone else down in some way brings you down too. I know that you always surround yourself with positives. You're a big reader. You follow people who are positive, always feeding your brain with positives, right?
Absolutely. You get to make a choice who you're going to hang around with, right? We all know there are negative people. Have you ever been to a meeting or with a group and one person walks in and you can feel the negative energy? That's what one person can do. One person can ruin an office. One person can ruin a sales meeting. So you have to be hyper vigilant. And today in the corporate world, there's a lot of talk about culture, positive culture. We'll see how positive energy builds a positive culture. And also you want to make sure that the people that are part of your team are positive as well. So we have to make right choices. And I'm always going to outside seminars. I'm always going to events. You're right. I'm always reading. I always want to learn more. And I want to take that and make it simple to understand and bring it back to my people, my group, who I'm speaking to, so they can use it and remember it and go make it happen. That's why I create simple little formulas like live your life above the line, use the winning game plan. And so I continue to make it simple so people will use it.
And I remember at one meeting that I attended, you talked about, okay, sometimes you will lose a sale or something bad will happen. And yes, you can give yourself a moment. So you have to acknowledge that we're all real people with feelings and emotions, and you can't just be a total Pollyanna.
Yes. I want to expand on that just a little bit because it's true. Bad things happen. We know that. We're going to be disappointed. It's how we learn and grow. But you do have to say, okay, here's my plan. I'm going to go tell one person and not going to tell anybody else, because every time I repeat the story, it gets bigger and bigger and more negative and surrounding me with a cloud. So if I have my one friend that I know is going to let me tell that story, so I can let go of it and I can wallow in it, maybe for the rest of the day, or wake up in the morning and it's over. And then I'll be there for that friend. And this is so critical, because imagine if everyone in an office had a bad day and they walk down the hallway and they tell 10 people, guess what? That negative energy just expanded tenfold. It affected everyone in the office. And then it also affected the person telling the story. So when someone realizes it's in my best interest to only tell the story one time and be done with it, I'm going to thrive. I'm going to get back up on the air mattress. I'm going to get back up above the line. And tomorrow I'm going to find out why that happened. And sometimes it happened for a good reason, and you end up with a better result than you ever imagined.
So Susie, we know that being positive, following the game plan is so important, but we are talking to salespeople. And so we need sales skills, and you've got some great specific ideas and actions that you can share. One of them that really intrigued me was being able to read personality styles, reading the personalities of your customers, your prospects, so that you can meet them where they are. So tell me about that.
Exactly, Kay, because we can be the best person at attracting wonderful buyers and wonderful sellers. But if we don't know how to treat them and listen to them, we're probably not going to make the sale. So there's a lot of training that goes into being a great salesperson. And you're one of those people because you trained for that too. And you and I both know you have to know your skills in order to be successful. So just one of the classes I teach is about what I call the 4 personality styles. Now, there are many programs that will tell you what personality style you are, or what someone else is, but are they simple? Can you figure it out in the first 5 minutes of meeting someone? Probably not. So what we want to do is have a way to figure out who we're talking to and how they like to be treated. So I call them the 4 personality styles. And yes, I learned this from someone else, and I've taken it and made sure everyone in my office knows how to do it. So we have 4 groups. We have the fast side of the line and we have the slow side of the line. On the fast side of the line are people talk fast, think fast, walk fast, make decisions fast. Those are the promoters and the controllers. Okay. We have, I want to take more time. We have, I want to take more time on what I would say the slower side of the line. Slower side of the vertical line does not mean not smart. It means I like to spend more time to figure this out. Okay. So those people are called supporters and analyzers. Now let's take those groups and put a horizontal line across the middle. So now we have 2 groups on the upper side of the line, 2 groups on the lower. On the upper side of the line, those people are social. They like to talk a lot. They like to hug, like to be with other people. So now we have our promoters and our supporters are social. The promoters are fast and they talk and they like the big picture and they like to have fun. And the supporters say, give me more time, but I'm here to help you. Okay. I'm going to expand on each group here in a second, but let's take a look at below the line. Below the line, they're not social. They think, they analyze. They don't want to be in front of a crowd and they don't want to talk a lot. So on the fast side of the line, but doesn't talk a lot, we have our controllers. I like to call those people, those were my builders and my developers. They're in control, but they want to do it right and they don't want to waste time and they want to get their answers quickly. But on the take more time, on the slower side of the line, those are analyzers. And I love analyzers, but I am not one. I love them because we need them. They want to figure out the details, make sure it's correct, analyze the past, present, and the future. Guess what? They're technology. They are computer programmers. They are engineers. In Seattle, we are surrounded by analyzers. Thank goodness, because it takes every personality style to make the world go round. We need them all. Now, I'm primarily a promoter and you are too, right, Kay?
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
We like to promote. We're trainers. We're big picture people. Okay. So let's talk about that promoter again. So promoter, fast side, walk fast, talk fast, think fast, social. So they like to have a party. They want you to say, just give me the big picture. In fact, could you just show me the pictures? I don't want to read out the fine print. Let's make it so much fun that everybody wants to come. Now, who do you want to market your home? You all probably want a promoter because they're going to make sure everybody knows about your home and they're going to market it in such a way that it's exciting and it's out there. So we have our promoters. And then we have also on the fast side of the line, but the group that doesn't want to talk a lot, it's not as social, once again, called our controllers. So the controllers are more the builders, the people that want to make, they're doers, they're drivers. They want to make it happen. They also want you to make it happen if you're working for them or with them. So when I meet a controller, I'm like, oh, okay, this person is fast. They like quick decisions, but they don't want to talk a lot. And I know a controller wants me to deliver that information on time when they ask for it and not talk too much and give them what they need. And they don't want me to be late. Once I know I'm working with a controller, I can give them what they want. I can keep them very happy, which is why I worked with so many builders over the years and sold so many new home communities because I like controllers. In fact, I have a hidden controller side in me when I want to get something done, but I soften it with my promoter side. So I can do both. So I understand both groups and I get along well with them. So let's move to the slower side of the line. I'm going to start with the top above the line group, which is the social group, supporters. Oh my gosh, we all love supporters because we need them in our life. Supporters finish other people's jobs. Supporters are helpers. Supporters are teachers and nurses and all the people that care about us. They will do the work for maybe not as much money as they could earn in some other profession because their heart and soul is in it. So supporters also, though, because they don't want to be rushed, don't like pushy salespeople. So when I meet a supporter, I say, take your time. How are the kids? How was the soccer game? They're going to think about their family. They're going to help us get the job done. And I'm not going to push them, because if I push a supporter, which I would not want to do, they're going to leave me. They don't like pushy salespeople. They are there to help. I love supporters. So let's still talk about that slower side of the line. I want to take more time. I want to think about it. And that's the analyzers. Analyzers are amazing. I understand them. I can be one when I need to be. When I need to look at my profit and loss statement, I can do it. But guess what? They are going to take their time. I have taught this class to hundreds of people. And an analyzer will say, it's okay. I don't mind missing out on 3 good buys, 3 great home buying opportunities, because I want to make sure it's the right one. And don't worry, Susie, you'll find me another one. And I'm thinking, I'll never find another one as good as this. But guess what? They don't mind, and they'll make it happen, and they'll take their time. And I just keep giving them more data, more information. Let's learn about the square footage. Let's learn more about the loan information. Let's learn about all the factors of the home that make it worthwhile and wonderful. And whatever, imagine you're holding open house and buyers come in, and you have to quickly determine which personality style they are so you can treat them the way they want to be treated. I have 5 questions that I ask people at an open house. Hi, are you shopping for a home today? If they answer and talk a lot, then they're on the fast side of the line, on the social side of the line. If they talk a little, they're not. How long have you been looking? Have you seen anything you liked? Are you ready to buy a home today? Those 5 questions can tell me instantly which personality style they are by how they answer them. Social, not social. Fast, slow. Instantly, I have a connection with those people. So now I can continue the buying process with them and keep them happy and make sure they get what they want.
Well, I think that's brilliant. And you've broken it down, like you said, in a way that makes a lot of sense. And the ability to size them up with those questions, those are really good questions. Of course, those won't apply to every other industry, but I think that anyone listening, we can make up our own questions that will give us that information so that we can help them buy in the way that they like to buy instead of selling like we like to sell, because it is, of course, all about the customer. Susie, we just have a couple more minutes. I've loved this conversation. I want to just touch on something you're famous for, and that is Susie-isms. I have a whole page of quotations that are Susie-isms. Why don't you pick out a couple of your favorites and share with the listener as we close this out?
Okay. Over the years, I've learned that there are certain kind of rules of engagement, ways to live that I created my little Susie-ism. So one of them is choose to be happy. It takes just as much energy to be happy as it does to be unhappy. So choose to be happy. Another is if you find yourself saying that something that is not positive and you're like, whoa, why did I do that? Hit the delete button. Hit the little delete button in your mind. Delete, cancel, cancel, cancel. You'll be just fine. Okay. Go to your personal PowerPoint. Don't forget your personal PowerPoint when you need to pull yourself up back above the line. Be careful what you say. Your mind is listening. So imagine you're like, okay, everything I say is an affirmation. My mind is listening. I'm programming myself. I have to be careful what I say.
You have so many great ideas and positives that, of course, you just don't do this and check it off your list and say you're done. You have to constantly be working at this, be mindful of it. Obviously, that's coming through in what you're saying. It's a constant ongoing, and I can't say job because it's fun. It's pleasurable. It brings more joy, like you said, into your life. And you're a perfect example of the fact that it also brings more success. So Susie, I am just so grateful to know you and that you were generous enough to come on the Uncopyable Women in Sales podcast and share so much of your wisdom and inspiration. So Susie, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, because listen, you are uncopyable, and to know you and to love you is my joy. So thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast today.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Uncopyable Women in Sales, your source for secrets you can use to make more sales. Check the show notes for links and contact information. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please spread the word by subscribing, sharing, and leaving a 5-star review. You can always learn more by going to uncopyablesales.com/podcast. Until next time, go out and supercharge your sales like a true uncopyable rock star.